George sits serenely in his barber chair. Suddenly, he realizes he's left his wallet at home. How would he be able to pay for him and his son Andy's haircuts? Would he have to sweep the floor after hours? Would the barber just shave his head? Noticing Andy gesturing wildly towards the mirror, George pleads for his help. Andy smugly opens his Bitcoin Cash wallet and sends his Luddite father exactly 2 haircuts worth of Bitcoin Cash.
Hey, thanks, man.
Bitcoin Cash, the future of money, today.
Hey guys, welcome back. Quick update here on the crypto markets. Before I start though, let me show you here. I really recommend you go to the free education on my website and watch free tutorials, free courses and coaching videos here. This is completely free, guys. I have a lot of technical analysis tutorials. I have 2 free courses where you can learn the basics and not so basics of technical analysis. And then I have a lot of coaching videos where I teach trading psychology, which is a big one. I'm saying this because I think it's very important that you have the knowledge yourself before you follow anyone's calls, from my channel or any other YouTube channel. It's always better you educate yourself and make your own decisions, and you use these videos only as a cross-check your own analysis and your own ideas. Let's go back to the BTC versus USD. These are the one-day candles. And by the way, guys, I made a video for BTC right before breaking out of this head and shoulder. I think everybody's been watching this head and shoulder, inverse head and shoulder, I mean. Here I made a video right before breaking out of this. The video is not on YouTube, but it's on the website. You see this inverse head and shoulder. It was about to break, but it was not. It was still like very close to the neckline, but didn't break yet. So I gave potential targets for when this head and shoulder, inverse head and shoulder, would break. So I gave targets in the upside, but I said, you can see the title, BTCUSD potential targets, but we're still bearish. The exact target for the head and for the inverse head and shoulder, I think it was 7.8, 7,800 BTC, but I said I don't think we'll make the target. We'll get close to it, but I don't think it's going to make the target because, first of all, we are very bearish in general. The conditions are really bearish, and there's so many people looking at this inverse head and shoulder. So usually when so many people are expecting something, it will usually not happen. So I said I was ready to sell BTC. If it was going to break out, I would sell some BTC between 7.2 and 7.4. I ended up selling at 7.450. When I sold, I shared that with premium members, as I always do. I don't buy or sell very often at all. But again, guys, I get paid in Bitcoin and in crypto, so because I get paid at any level, for me it makes sense to sell on the rallies. The crypto that I was invested in from the beginning of 2017, the crypto that I actually bought using money from my bank account, that's already, it's either in cold storage or either I sold it already here on the highs. So what I'm doing now when I sell, I don't buy anymore. As I said, since here, that was the last time, I don't buy anymore. I don't think it's time to buy yet. When I sell, I don't sell huge amounts, and it's because I'm earning it on the way. So I'm explaining this because you need to take into account your own personal situation, not just do what I do. I sold some here. If we go up higher a little bit more, which I would expect 7.7, maybe 7.8, if we get there, I will probably be selling a little bit more. But of course, I'm going to have to look at the patterns then. But this is what I expect. And I shared this on Telegram as well. Let me find it. It was here right before I sold the BTC. I shared this. I think we'll be forming a bear flag up to 7.7 or 7.8 and then down. So, and I draw these. But in the other hand, if we start going down a little, forming a bull flag, then I'll be more bullish. But I find this less probable, okay? So, and what's so far happening is that we're having this bear flag here. We're going up very slowly. Where is the chart here? So you can see we're, we're actually making this bear flag, so I expect this to go to 7.7, maybe 7.8 and break down. Now, it's a little bit premature to draw a bear flag here because this could also turn into a continuation pattern. Okay, this could also form something like that if we start making lower highs and higher lows, and we start to tighten here, then there's the possibility that it'll break in the upside. I give less probability to this, but of course not out of the picture. I give less probability because first, we are already very extended in the upside on the daily candles. You can see the RSI all the way up here. We went vertical. I mean, after vertical movements, you usually have big retracements. But the reason I don't think it would be so crazy to break in the upside is because in the bigger picture, in the weekly candles, I'm not going to switch, but if you look at the bigger pictures on the weekly chart, the RSI is actually oversold, crossed bullish, and it's still on the process of pushing up. So we could actually have a little breakout and continue higher, making a longer but slower period of uptrend within the bear market, which ultimately it's the only thing that we're gonna achieve with this is to make the bear market longer. But what can you do? This is how these things work usually in bubbles. It takes forever to find the bottom. So we could be breaking in the upside. If I see this bull flag turning into a continuation pattern, I'm going to be monitoring this, and I'm going to be ready to maybe call for a long position, for a short-term trade, for a long position. But so far, I'm still leaning more to that we're going to top at 7.7, 7.8 and go down. But I'm going to be monitoring this. So in any case, you don't want to go long or short until it actually breaks and you have confirmations of a breakout with volume and all that. But it can still take a few days until this happens. But yeah, I'm monitoring this. I'll probably be sharing this, with videos on my website. I don't upload that much to YouTube these days. I prefer to upload most of my content to my website. Moving on. This is the Bitcoin Cash versus BTC. So this was the last, these are the last drawings for the last video that I made, and it's actually on YouTube. It was 1 week ago, so I was expecting a vertical breakout of this wedge, of this descending wedge. I expected to go to 0.125 and then find some resistance here and eventually break out, but it was a failed rally. For me personally, how I'm handling this, I did buy the breakout at 0.113, exactly when it was breaking out of this. So it's, very, very close from the level that is right now. And I think I commented this on the last video as well. If we were not going to have a breakout of this wedge, then I would anticipate that we will continue sideways and consolidate at the level of 0.1. I said if this, if this wedge doesn't, if this wedge has no effect on the price whatsoever, maybe we don't break out. I would expect this to go sideways at around 0.1. So that's what I, continue to expect here. I mean, we're far from 0.1. Let me draw that support. Let me go exactly at 0.1. So it's all the way down here, so we still have room to come to this support and consolidate at this level. We will see if it'll go that low or it'll just consolidate, at the level of this main trend line. We'll see, but I don't expect this to continue to capitulate. The reason is because it's gone down enough already. And for this, I wanted to show guys, if you remember, if you follow this channel long enough, you'll remember that I was charting Bitcoin Cash versus Ethereum some time ago. I stopped charting this, but you will probably remember that I said that I exchanged my Ethereum for Bitcoin Cash here. That was a few months ago now. I don't know exactly, in March. beginning of March 2018. So I entered this position here, exchanged my my Ethereum for Bitcoin Cash, and I said I was going to actually no, I said, I remember specifically, I said the target is here, but I'm not going to be selling. I'm just going to be holding, because usually when I exchange anything into Bitcoin Cash, I usually don't trade it back. I just, you know, keep my Bitcoin Cash and accumulate it. So, but I gave the target here. Anyways, I entered this position here, and since then, it didn't do much. I mean, I would have done better if I was, you know, trading it back and forth. I could have made more, you know, more Bitcoin Cash this way, but I don't have the time, you know, to be trading all the time. So I prefer to just buy. I try to enter after this, you know, after this crazy crash here. For me, I didn't catch the perfect bottom, because trying to catch the perfect bottom is risky, because you really don't know if it's going to continue to go down. You don't want to catch a falling knife. But I let it do a couple of higher highs here, you know, prove itself a little bit, and then I entered it here. For me, it's close enough from the bottom, you know, even though it's a big percent. Let's see. It's like 27%, you know, that you miss out. You could say, yeah, you miss out, but it doesn't really matter. It's close enough from the bottom. It's close enough, you know, from this crazy crash downtrend that I'm cool holding it. I don't have, when I enter here, these low levels is so low risk that I don't need to be monitoring the chart all the time. And I'm just happy just holding it, you know, and just leaving it there and hold it forever. And since then, as you can see, it didn't go lower than my entry level, even though it's gone up and down and getting back down close to entry level, but it doesn't really matter. Even if it goes below a little bit more, I don't need to get, you know, to get it exactly perfect, but it's low enough that it's low risk. And the exact same thing applies for BCHBTC here. I got in at 0.113, so basically what it is right now, very, very close to it. So even if it goes down to 0.1, I mean, it's, you know, it's close enough, it's low enough to be a low risk. So I'm cool just holding it there. I don't think we're going to have any more capitulation, but if we would have more capitulation, say for example this goes sideways here for a while, consolidating, and then it decides to break down one more time, well, then I will be buying that dip. If that happens, if it goes down vertical, you know, significantly, then I would be buying that dip again. But if it just goes sideways and it stays above and below my entry level, more or less around that level, I'm happy just holding it, you know. And if it goes down slowly, like a slow downtrend, going down slowly, I'm cool with holding. I don't need to increase my position. I would only increase if it actually capitulates down like vertical, then I would increase my position. But so long as we go sideways or maybe down slowly, but I'm cool with holding it. I'm cool with holding it here. It's low enough for me, you know, to know that this is a very, very low risk entry here. Of course, not guaranteed, but by probability. This is all always based on probabilities. So moving on, Bitcoin Cash versus US dollar. Last time, this was the last breakout here. Last time someone asked me on the group on Telegram, on the premium group, we were actually above moving averages, above the 50-day moving average here. You see this spike in this red candle. We were actually going up here already above moving averages, and they said, hey, can you update on BCHUSD? So this is what I shared. This one was it here. So as you can see, hopefully you can see it, it's you know, the price was above the 50-day moving average, and I say, look, this daily candle just opened, so chances are by the time it closes, it'll close below moving average, below the 50-week moving 50-day moving average, because moving averages are very strong resistances. and supports for this matter, but in downtrends are very strong resistances, and the price usually, you know, even if it goes above them for a little bit, they usually close below them, like bouncing off moving average and coming back down. So I was expecting this to not last much longer. You can read here what I said. Just like for BTC, I don't expect the bounce to last much longer, and we're going to correct, and maybe we will go sideways. And that's basically what happened here. The daily candle ended up closing below the 50-day moving average, and now it's bouncing off it. So, you know, it's just going down for now. So that's what I expect, sideways market here before deciding if it'll break up or down. Now for me, I said this in previous videos as well, for me, what it would take for me to actually take money from my bank account, like, you know, significant amounts, and put it into crypto, and this includes Bitcoin Cash, would be if we make it down to 400, between $400 and $500. If we get to $400 or $500 there, I would become very interested in actually, you know, putting actual money from my bank account into Bitcoin Cash, but not higher than that, because I have been accumulating already a lot of it all the way. I've been exchanging my other cryptos to Bitcoin Cash, like I showed here, Ethereum, Litecoin as well. I've been changing most of it to Bitcoin Cash. So far doing great, because I entered at low levels. So, you know, I have already enough to ride it. If this was to start, you know, if this was the bottom, let's say this one here was the bottom, and from here we have consolidation and bull market, then I'm cool just holding what I have for the next bull run. Or when I have more evidence that this starts to break out and showing volume like we are full bull, then I would increase my position. I would do that if we don't go down first, but I think I give more probability that we're going down, and we're not going to bottom until the end of the year. My most optimistic date would be September. I've been saying this, somewhere in September, but if not, by the end of the year, I think we'll see lower prices, you know, in terms of fiat value. So that's all, guys. Thank you very much for watching again, and see you soon. Bye.